I'm Dr. Pam Rasmussen. I'm in the Department of Zoology and the MSU Museum, and I'm an ornithologist, and I've been studying birds for quite a few years now. I wrote a book on birds of the Indian subcontinent. And one of the ideas that he hit upon was to compare what humans have been doing with animals and plants for thousands of years in terms of modifying them to suit our own needs with what happens in nature. And he actually got really interested in pigeons. And pigeons are sort of the avian equivalent of the domestic dog in terms of their genetic variability. We started out with a single breed, the species, I should say, the rock dove, or now called rock pigeon. So this is the ordinary sort of feathered rat that people feed in city parks. And in nature there are many, many species of pigeons that are highly varied in a variety of ways. But this is the one that is the progenitor of all of these amazing breeds. That one of the differences between artificial selection and natural selection is that we can breed for characteristics that don't favor survival in the wild. And so you can take birds that have a slight turn of their feathers on the neck, breed them together with a male and a female that have the same characteristics, end up with offspring that have even longer twisted feathers on the neck. And if you keep doing that generation after generation with the birds that have the most twisted and longest feathers on the neck, what do you end up with? Pretty soon you've got something like this. Basically a genetic monstrosity, something that looks pretty cool but can never survive in the wild. So this bird can survive in captivity because we're taking care of it. It's in a cage. So that breed is going to disappear pretty quickly from the wild, as will breeds that are so intent on displaying their tail feathers that they're constantly making a show of themselves, like this one, or breeds that have long feathers on the feet that basically get in the way, and just this is just not a good adaptation. No wild bird has long feathers like that on the feet. It's a common mutant in captivity, and when it's bred for, you can end up with these long plumes like this on the feet, unlike wild birds. So again, a very small sample of the variation that man has been able to produce within domestic pigeons. So the parallels with evolution are almost complete, with the exception that humans have done the breeding. So they choose which birds to put together. So anyway, in artificial selection, the people are doing the choosing, and they're also keeping these birds alive in forms that wouldn't survive in the wilds. The motivations have been to come up with useful breeds like the carrier pigeon, so a pigeon that actually can take messages to behind enemy lines, for example. Now that's a little less important, although they're still used. Others are basically just because people like to breed pigeons. It's called the fancy, and so it really is. It's like breeding dogs. Mostly we don't breed them for a particular reason other than that we like to see different sorts of dogs. We like to see Pekingese, we like to see Shar-Peis, etc., etc. And so it's basically the same thing. There's quite a lot of people that belong to pigeon fanciers clubs, and they take it really seriously. So they really can't take care of themselves. There are some examples of breeds that are even more helpless than this, and they're basically just sort of kept alive through, because they're protected so well. An example of a form that has frizzled feathers all over the body, so they're curled all over the body, so it can't really keep itself warm, for example. It's very, very frail and unhealthy, but it's a breed, and some people think that's basically cruelty to animals to make them, to deliberately set out to breed an animal like that that's not going to have a happy life. It's not really something to criticize too much. It's not a very useful, what is the use of breeding something like this? But it is beautiful and it is interesting and it's harmless.